Well, what you learn in equine science too is the meat and bones of working with horses in general. You learn the science behind how they move, how we move, and how that's connected.
We study everything there is to know about the horse, from their behavior, what makes them tick, how they're wired, how they think, how they learn. That helps us learn how to train them, how to create a trusting bond with the horse.
We're learning about the nutrition of the different animals that go into our food production system. So learning more about what goes into them helps me understand about that go into our market, how it affects price, the things that change in their nutrition that will also affect how we buy food in the market.
We have an Associates of Production, which basically we try to teach you the industry standards of things that happen within the industry, but we try to teach our students the basics so they can earn that associate's degree, and then they can actually go out into the real world and they can go work on a ranch or a farm.
What CTC offers, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or expert, like you can learn something from each course. I was already kind of growing plants when I started taking these courses, but I've still learned way more than I ever would have. And especially having a professor as somebody as like a sounding board who's like a subject matter expert is definitely the difference.
Learning to make plants from the mother plant to create other plants, so we'll have multiple plants. And also we're learning how to do this with trees as well.
In today's world, we have a lot of variety of plants, and bringing buds of different plants that are close in family is a good idea to have variety.
It definitely I would say open your eyes to how much process actually goes through, instead of just being like, oh, they feed the cow. No, they go through all the weights, what weight they have to be, how old they have to be, how much feed you got to give them and all that, how much pasture or time in the pasture they can be out.
Get out in the pasture and the pens and evaluate our livestock here, and they see that there's a whole nother side to life, and that we get to see life from start to finish and how we can feed the world.
Specifically in this course so far, I'm learning how to manage the physical greenhouse. One day I do hope to build my own greenhouse, so I'm learning how to use the hydroponics tables, how to use the agronomy towers, what specific plants and or crops we can grow. I'm learning, how to work the lighting and manage the humidity and the moisture in here is all very important.
I expect that my students know more about plants, plant biology, start doing something in terms of growing plants and not just beautifying the environment, but also helping to feed the populace.
You learn how basically everything can affect them, from stress to diet to the weather and the climate and all that. And ultimately all that ties into the better bond between the horse and rider.
There are students who come in with no experience at all. They're just really interested in learning and being around horses, and those are kind of my favorites, the people who really click with horses for the first time in their life and learn how special that bond is, and how special and healing that bond can be for a person and animal.